And welcome to the Sidden Size electrical installation video for our Hognose Snake. First of all, we're going to install the guards. We've got an Arcadia guard and we've got a Pro Rep heat guard. Put little screws to one side and we're going to position them where we want. We actually install things upside down because it's way easier when you're putting the screws in rather than trying to hold the screws to a ceiling. If you turn it upside down, you can have a much easier time. And there's a heat guard, just open little spring clips, open it up, and that's how we can install the bulb. You can see it's all positioned now. I'm going to get the Pro T5 lamp now. There's a 6% bulb. Open up the other side of the box and you'll find all the cables and clips and things that you're going to need to install. Don't forget the wires. And Arcadia provide you with two, the mains wire and a little link wire. Get the awl. That's a little pokey tool that you use to make the initial hole for screw holes. You'll find it a lot easier, especially with the MFC type builds. Just starts a little guide hole for the screws. So here we are installing the screws on the guards. Another hole. Wind it in. Another hole. And again, another hole. And these Arcadia lamp guards are really good. They give you quite a few access points, but do make sure that the access points are pointing the right way, depending which way you're putting your wires in. Then we take the screws off. We're going to install the Pro T5 unit. There's the little clips. Put it to one side. Make sure that you got it the right way round before you clip it in. I mean, you can unclip it, but it's easier if you get it right the first time. And then what we're going to do, we're going to position it roughly where we want, and we're going to measure between the two screw holes that we made for the guard, and it's 6 3/4 centimeters to be right in the middle. Make sure it closes. Lovely. Get the awl, make your little initial holes, 1 and 2. Little spring clips that the Arcadia Pro provide. Put them in there. And then you've got to kind of push back and down. But before we lock it in there, just make sure that cable goes in the little exit hole to one side. And just like that, it's clipped in. Do exactly the same thing with the guard. Position it, make little pilot holes, mark off where all the holes are. 1, 2, 3, 4. And before we start making holes, we're going to get the ceramic bracket. I'm going to find where the middle is. That's how it kind of is going to sit. If you draw an X from one dot to the other, like so, that'll give you the middle point. And that way you can get your lamp index perfectly each time. Just hold it down, make little marks with a pencil or pen. Get you all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. VivExotic Vivs, they got a really fantastic feature with the vents. They've actually designed it so you can pull away the vents and actually fit a UK 3-pin plug all the way through it, but not all vivariums have this feature. So what I'm going to do in this is just show you how to do one of these ceramic brackets and take it apart and put it back together. So first thing you're going to do, unscrew that little black plastic thing, move away the grommets, unscrew the ceramics, and there's only 2 screws inside there. There's a live and a neutral. Just remember which way they go around. Take away all the little plastic fittings. Just be careful because that little black plastic fitting can break. And then we're going to feed it through. So just poke it through one of the holes. And then pull enough wire through so it's easy to work on. Lay all your components out, how you're going to install it. So there's a little black plastic screw, a little grommet, ceramic wire protector there, that goes on. And there's a bit of shrink wrap to go on the end there, and that just protects it from moisture. separate the wires, and let's screw them back in. It's as simple as that. So if you've never done that before, I see a lot of people cutting huge holes out. Obviously if you can just do it from the plug-in, you can do that from the plug-in as well, but some have got big torpedo switches in the way. So if you ever get something like a Komodo fitting or anything like that, this is how you do that. And if you're not confident, please find someone who is capable, or an electrician who is confident with electrics, and just screw it back on like so. And with all electrical fittings, please make sure they're rated for the power you're putting through them. Okay, you can do exactly the same with the Arcadia light. If you've got a Vivarium that doesn't have one of these access holes, you're going to have to cut a hole that's big enough to fit the biggest fitting through. You can use grommets, cable glands, all sorts of things, but you're going to have to find a way of getting those cables through. And finally we're going to install the light sensor. This is the night eye sensor, and it's basically a light sensitive sensor, and it just picks up when the lights are on and it adjusts the temperature accordingly. And just pull the cable through like that. Going around the back of the VivExotic here, we've got the 3 little access holes. Just tidy them up, make sure the cables are in the right locations, and then go around to the front and then push it in, and you'll see it pop into place, just like so. We will glue these in later on, but that's how you push them in. Now we can install the ceramic fittings, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then make sure that cable is indexed correctly. There's that little notch there at the back of the heat guard, and then 1, 2, 3 and 4. That's the heat guard installed. Arcadia 80 watt deep heat projector we're installing on this. If you missed the video, check it out, and links in the description. Just click it there and have a little look. They emit IRA and IRB, which is a great spectrum. Helps the heat project inside your animal better than a normal ceramic heat fitting. Now we're going to install a bulb, 6% forest bulb. What we're going to do is put a little plastic protector in one side, and that just makes sure there's no humidity there. It's going to corrode the end connector. Pull the bulb out gently, try to handle it as little as possible, and just lay in there, and then just lift it slightly and then twist it 90 degrees. And what I like to do, I like to get a pen, a marker pen, and just mark the date that you install it. That's a good reminder when you need to change it next year if you don't have a solar meter. Test the bulb, and we're going to test the heat fitting to make sure that works as well. So you plug it in and just test it to make sure there's heat coming up. Now there's a bit of cable management. So what we're going to do, we can use all sorts of different things. Today we're going to use P-clips and zip ties. So you've got holes on the guards. You can use these. They're sort of non-permanent fixtures, but they're going to be safe for your animals, so just clip them up. Manage the cables by pulling them through, give them a little tug, and then they're cinched in nice and tight. You can of course put extra cable clips in, or zip ties, anything to make sure that your animal can't get under it. As long as they're tight and secure, then you're good to go. Clip the tail pieces off and you're good to go. P-clips, these are fantastic. Make sure you've got the right size. And then all we're going to do is feed it over the cable where there's a loose tail, like so. Get your awl out, make a little initial hole, screw it in, and check to make sure it's secure. I'm going to add a little zip tie in here. There's a bit too much flex in that cable there. And then clip them off. Here we've got the Habistat classic night eye dimming thermostat, and we're going to just plug the heat source in. Then we're going to plug the mains, make sure it's all working, and then we're going to feed the temperature probe through from the thermostat. This is where it comes through, so we're going to loosen the cork background that we installed earlier on, quickly punch out the rear vent, feed that probe through, just pull the wire through, make sure you've got enough slack, push it back in, and then we can secure the background down again. Just wind them back in. Little tug, make sure it's good. The sensor we're actually going to install with P-clips. You can see we're installing it way above the substrate level there, and just way above where the Hognose Snake can rest against that sensor. We don't resting against it. There's a bit of room there, see? And then never be afraid to use a hole that you've already made. So we're going to put a P-clip onto that washer there. Nice and secure. Heat's running, all nice and good. Good to go. Now we're stacking this vivarium, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a layer for thermal separation, and these are just little felt sticky pads, and it just prevents the surface of one vivarium contacting the bottom of the other, and then that heat conducting all the way through and making that hot spot. So by using felt or slats or any other method just to separate the two vivariums, you create the little air gap and it protects your animal from overheating. Thank you for watching.